Technology in Our Schools, a professional development presentation by JenniferJohnsen to fulfill the requirements for ED 780. This agenda reveals what I have planned for this professional development session. It is my goal that you leave today armed with questions to ask yourself as you seek ways to use technology to transform your teaching. Before I begin, I'd like to share this quote by Katie Martin that portrays the aspirations I have for teaching. The power of the teacher comes not from the information she shares, but from the opportunities she creates for students to learn how to learn, solve problems, and apply learning in meaningful ways. So all of you received a needs assessment survey to complete via Google Forms. Thank you for your input, as it was used to decide upon the PD sessions you feel necessary to improve technology use in the classrooms. Some of the topics explored were the definition of educational technology, areas of training needed, developing critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication, promoting deeper learning, redesigning our learning spaces, using authentic learning, Bloom's, SAMR, and TPACK models, assistive technologies, technology use planning, and the digital divide between teachers and between students. These are some of the survey responses you gave regarding the definition of educational technology. Most definitions discuss the physical, technological resources we have available, such as one-to-one laptops, tablets, and Promethean boards. A few of our responses discussed how technology is used for benchmark testing, stations, early finishers, and more. Some of our responses discussed how technology should be used for the creation of a product to demonstrate learning, for robotics, and for drone classes. The Association for Educational Communications and Technology defines EdTech as the study and ethical practice of facilitating learning and improving performance by creating, using, and managing appropriate technological processes and resources. So, we need to look further and consider how we can support students as they use technology to demonstrate deep learning. These are some of the survey responses you gave regarding the 4 C's: communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. Most of you felt that collaboration and communication are being taught in the classroom. We still need to work on improving our instructional practices, though, so that students are thinking creatively and critically. These are some of the survey responses you gave regarding the NMC Horizon Report. Some of your suggestions for promoting deeper learning included more professional development, incorporating the 4 C's, improved learning spaces, less material to cover so that quality takes precedence over quantity, project-based learning, and authentic learning. In fact, when asked how much of student learning involved real-world connections, the majority said that you did so sometimes, a rating of 3 on a scale of 1 to 5. These are some of the survey responses you gave regarding accessibility. From the survey, the majority of you felt technology is accessible to all of the students in your classroom. You also expressed an interest for learning about assistive technologies for children with autism. In the future, we will have professional development geared towards specific impairments or disabilities, such as autism. We will also provide training in simple changes that can be made to the computer settings, as well as browser add-ons to further assist students. And as you can see, according to the survey, the majority of you wanted more information on those simple settings and changes that could be made. These are some of the survey responses regarding the digital divide. To narrow the gap among students, you suggested having technology that can be taken home, the haves versus the have-nots, as well as the educated versus the uneducated, more information made available to parents, an after-hours computer lab, free internet for needy students, and opportunities for parents without technology to use and learn more about it. To narrow the gap among teachers, you suggested more training and observation, more collaboration, more time for practice, for all to have the same technology available in their classrooms, and one-on-one guidance sessions with the technology specialist. These are your survey responses regarding technology use planning. Surprisingly, the majority of those surveyed did not know whether or not their school had a technology use plan. The technological equipment at schools, though, was mostly new or at least usable and maybe just needing some upgrades. Most teachers or administrators felt teaching with technology should be addressed first over infrastructure, learning, leadership, and assessment. They felt teaching should be focused upon first. These are the survey responses regarding blended taxonomies: Bloom's taxonomy, SAMR, and TPAC. Many of those surveyed still had difficulty explaining how educators could use technology to modify and/or redefine learning, and they wanted more professional development in how to use blended taxonomies to use technology that truly transforms learning. The use of blended taxonomies to improve the use of technology in the classroom seems to be the most pressing issue, according to the survey, so we will discuss this further in this PD session. In this video by the Alliance for Excellent Education, you will get a glimpse into classrooms where technology is transforming teaching and learning.
In one place.
Educators need to move from simplicity to complexity to ensure that they use all the tools at their disposal to reach that goal. And that's from Markovitz and Januszewski. Sometimes one model or framework isn't enough to improve upon a process. So a combination or even a revision of the current processes must be used. You are already familiar with Bloom's taxonomy, but let me begin by showing you a brief video about the SAMR model. The TPAC model will be discussed next.
This is the SAMR model in 120 seconds. The SAMR model is a framework that provides a lens for viewing technology integration in the classroom. The first level is substitution, or the idea that a block is a block no matter where it is or how you access it. This would be like using Google Docs as any other word processor. The new tech replaces the old tech, but it does not change the task. The next level is augmentation. At this level, the tech is still a substitute, but provides more functionality as students work to complete the same task. The ability to share your Google Doc in one click and the fact that it saves to the cloud automatically and provides you access from anywhere is an increase in functionality. The next level is modification. Here the ball really gets rolling because the technology is used to redesign parts of the task and transform student learning. Students collaborating on one Google Doc and using the comment feature to provide instant feedback is an example of modification. The final level of SAMR is redefinition. At this level, we're able to design and create new tasks that were once unimaginable. By shifting our perspective from technology just being another block or substitute, we're able to truly start imagining the possibilities. An example of redefinition would be connecting to a classroom across the world through students sharing Google Docs. They would each write their own narrative of the same historical event, using the chat and comment section to discuss the differences. Then students would use the Voice Comments app to discuss the differences they noticed and embed this in their class website as a culture walk. To recap, substitution is the same task, new tech replaces old tech. Augmentation is the same task, but the tech increases functionality. Modification, we're able to redesign parts of the task. Redefinition, we're able to create new tasks once unimaginable. As we move from substitution to redefinition, we're moving from enhancing to transforming student learning.
Blending these models, Bloom's taxonomy, SAMR, and TPACK, allows us to increase teacher and therefore student learning. Students are encouraged to think on a more critical level, to reach the highest level of the pyramid. The use of blended taxonomies encourages educators to use technology to its fullest capacity. Teachers should continually ask themselves why they are using technology and how they can incorporate technology to promote deeper learning.